Have you ever found yourself teetering on the edge of familial chaos? I have. And it started with a proclamation that echoed like a thunderclap. "He's my new love." It was my sister Emma who spoke those words, and the object of her newfound affection? My ex-boyfriend, Mike. This is a tale steeped in tension, swirling emotions, and unexpected alignments. A tale that unfolded around dinner tables, under the gaze of the stars, with whispers in the shadows. It's a voyage through strained bonds and agonizing silence, a journey seeking redemption in the throes of betrayal, a quest for reconciliation, forgiveness, and perhaps a second chance at being a family. My name is Jennifer, and this is my story. The day started ordinarily enough, with the morning sun casting a delicate gold haze through the blinds, whispering promises of a day yet to unfold. It was a quiet Saturday until my mom announced we were having a family dinner with a special guest. I didn't think much of it. Family dinners were pretty common in our house. It wasn't until my sister, Emma, declared, "He's my new love," that my world started spiraling. Turns out, her new love was none other than my ex, Mike. A million thoughts raced through my head. Could she really stoop this low? I questioned, my heart weighed down by a mixture of betrayal and sadness. As the day passed, the air grew tense, filled with unspoken words and sideways glances, and I just knew, I had to do something. I didn't want to stoop to her level, but I was craving revenge, a small taste of the humiliation she so easily served me. As everyone started preparing for the night, I conjured up a plan. I decided to present a slideshow of all the embarrassing moments of Emma's life. I wanted her to feel the sting, the burn of humiliation, just like I did when she paraded Mike in front of me. I dug through old photo albums, scavenged through boxes filled with forgotten memories, every childish doodle, every awkward family photo that screamed awkward phase. Finally, after a couple of frantic hours, my masterpiece was ready. This will teach her the consequences of playing with someone's feelings, I thought, as a dark satisfaction settled in my chest. I set up the projector in the living room and waited for everyone to arrive, my heartbeat racing, a cocktail of anticipation and nervousness bubbling inside me. As the guests started filling the room, whispers and hushed voices merged into a symphony of suppressed curiosity. Why is the projector here? The guests wondered. I could see Emma glancing nervously at the screen, but Mike seemed blissfully unaware, a puppet in this game of deception and revenge. Dinner started with a deceptive calmness, like the silent surface of a deep, turbulent sea. Each tick of the clock felt like a taunt, amplifying the tension in the air. I could feel the air grow denser, heavier, with every passing second, a storm brewing in the confines of the dining room. Finally, it was time to unveil my magnum opus. With my heart hammering against my ribs, I clicked the remote, and the first image splashed across the screen. It was a picture of Emma, around 6, nose caked in chocolate, eyes gleaming with mischief. A gasp resonated through the room, and I could feel the mix of shock and amusement emanating from the guests. Emma's face turned a shade of red I never knew existed, her eyes shooting daggers at me. But I couldn't stop, the thrill of revving making me feel invincible. Picture after picture, the room echoed with stifled gigglies and suppressed laughter, while Emma's face transitioned through every shade of red and purple known to man. Mike, on the other hand, was shifting uncomfortably, caught in a whirlwind of embarrassment and amusement, probably wondering what kind of family he had gotten himself into. My heart was in my throat as I reached the final slide. I hesitated for a moment, wondering if I had gone too far, but the sight of Emma, her face a concoction of rage and humiliation, fueled me on. The last picture was a doozy. Emma in her teen years, braces gleaming, hair a mess of unruly curls, awkwardly posing in a dress that screamed fashion disaster. The laughter in the room reached a crescendo, and I could feel victory dancing on my fingertips. Emma's eyes were blazing fire, but there was something else, a flicker of pain, of betrayal. And just like that, the satisfaction I felt crumbled, replaced by a pang of guilt. What had I done? Emma stormed out of the room, her face a mask of fury and embarrassment. I sat there, the laughter around me sounding distant, my triumph quickly transforming into a pool of regret. The images, meant to be the pawns in my game of revenge, now felt like sharp knives, cutting through the fabric of our relationship. What a way to ruin a family dinner, I thought, feeling the eyes of the family boring into me, a mix of reproach and shock etched on their faces. In that suffocating silence, I wondered whether my quest for revenge was worth the price of my sister's tears. Was a fleeting moment of satisfaction worth the shards of a broken bond? Mike, who had become the unwitting spectator in our family drama, was visibly uncomfortable, and for a moment, I regretted dragging him into this mess. The dinner continued in an agonizing silence. Each bite felt like swallowing stones. My mind was a whirlwind of regret, a relentless echo of, I shouldn't have done it. My initial feeling of righteousness was now drowning in a sea of remorse and guilt, a loud reminder of the damage I had caused. The guests started leaving, whispers of judgment and sympathy blending into the chilly night air. The weight of their gaze was oppressive, a silent judgment for the havoc I had wreaked. Was I the villain in my own story? I pondered, my mind tangled in a web of remorse and self-reproach. After what felt like an eternity, it was just our family left in the remnants of the party, the remnants of our broken bond scattered around us like shards of glass. My parents looked at me, disappointment and sorrow dancing in their eyes, a silent plea for reconciliation. I couldn't meet their gaze, the guilt clawing at my soul, creating a cavern of emptiness inside me. I knew I had to make amends, to rebuild the bridges I had so carelessly burned. My feet felt like lead as I walked towards Emma's room, my heart a heavy lump in my chest. I knocked softly, waiting for a response, but all I could hear was the deafening silence, the walls seemingly absorbing my pleas for forgiveness. "Emma, I'm so sorry," I whispered, my voice cracking, a tear rolling down my cheek. "I never meant to hurt you this much." Hours passed in that agonizing silence, the shadows of regret my only company. It felt like I was standing on the edge of an abyss, teetering between hope and despair. Had I lost my sister forever? The question a relentless whisper in my mind, a constant reminder of the pain I had inflicted. As I was losing hope, the door cracked open, a sliver of light cutting through the darkness, and I saw Emma's eyes, red and swollen, a reflection of the pain I felt inside. "Can we ever move past this?" Her voice, a soft whisper, was like a knife through my heart. My eyes filled with tears, and I choked out, "I am so sorry, Emma. I never wanted to hurt you, and I would give anything to take it back." We stood there on the threshold of pain and forgiveness, our hearts bare, our souls entwined in a dance of sorrow and hope. The silence between us was heavy, filled with unsaid words, unshed tears, a silent battle between love and betrayal. Emma's voice broke the silence. "You humiliated me in front of everyone." Her voice was soft but laced with pain, her eyes a mirror to her wounded soul. "I never thought you could be so cruel." I felt a surge of pain, her words a stark reminder of the monster I had become, the tormentor in my sister's life. "I am so sorry, Emma." My voice was barely above a whisper, my tears a silent testimony to my regret. "I let my pain and jealousy take over, and I hurt you, the one person I should have protected." The air around us was thick with unsaid words, with unhealed wounds, and for a moment, I feared that this was it, the point of no return, the end of us. The air was tense, filled with the echoes of broken trust and unshed tears. Every second stretched into eternity, the silence between us a chasm filled with the remnants of our shattered bond. Emma, I breathed out. I would do anything to make this right, to heal the wounds I've caused. Emma looked at me, her eyes shimmering pools of pain and betrayal, and I felt a pang of guilt sharper than any knife. "Why?" she asked, her voice breaking. "Why would you do something like this to your own sister?" The anguish in her voice was a raw, open wound, and I felt my heart shatter into a million pieces. I was hurt, and I acted out of pain and jealousy, I confessed, my voice trembling. I saw you with Mike, and it felt like a betrayal. I wanted you to hurt as much as I was hurting, but I realize now how terribly wrong I was. The words hung in the air, a painful reminder of the darkness within me, the monster I had become. Emma broke down, her tears a torrent of pain and sorrow, and I felt my own tears streaming down my face. "I thought we were sisters. I thought we were supposed to love and support each other," she sobbed. "But all I see now is hatred and betrayal." Her words were like a punch to my gut, a stark reminder of the pain I had inflicted, the damage I had done. "I never hated you, Emma," I said softly, my heart aching. "I was just so blinded by my own pain that I lost sight of what truly mattered. And I am so sorry for hurting you." I reached out to her, my hand trembling, hoping for a touch, a sign of forgiveness, but she recoiled, her eyes filled with pain and mistrust. "I don't know if I can ever forgive you," she whispered, her voice breaking, and I felt my heart sink. "I never meant to fall in love with Mike. It just happened, and I was going to talk to you about it. I wanted your blessing." Her confession felt like a cold splash of water, a revelation that shook me to my core. "I never knew. I never realized," I stammered. "I just saw you two together and felt betrayed. I acted impulsively, without thinking about the consequences, without considering your feelings." I looked at her, my vision blurred by tears, and said, "If I could turn back time, I would, in a heartbeat." The room was filled with the echoes of our pain, our tears a silent testament to the broken bond between us. "Emma, please," I pleaded. "Please give me a chance to make this right, to mend the bond between us." My voice was desperate, filled with the fear of losing my sister forever, of being forever haunted by the specter of my actions. Emma looked at me, her eyes searching mine, and I could see the battle raging within her, the fight between love and betrayal, forgiveness and pain. "I don't know," she said softly. "I don't know if I can ever trust you again, if I can ever look at you the same way again." Her words were like a dagger to my heart, a painful reminder of the trust I had shattered, the love I had betrayed. "I will do anything to earn your trust again, to prove to you that I am not the monster I became that night," I promised, my voice filled with determination. "I will spend every day making it up to you, proving to you that I am still the sister you once loved." The air was thick with tension, with the unspoken words between us, and I could feel the weight of our broken bond pressing down on me. "I need time," Emma said finally, her voice soft. "I need time to heal, to come to terms with what happened." Her words were a mix of hope and pain, and I felt a glimmer of hope, a tiny flicker of light in the darkness. "I hope, someday, I can forgive you. I can learn to trust you again," she added, her voice breaking, and I felt a surge of love and gratitude for my sister. "I will wait. I will give you all the time you need," I promised, my heart filled with hope and determination. "I will do everything in my power to make amends, to rebuild the bond between us." Emma nodded, her eyes filled with tears, and I felt a mixture of hope and sorrow, the beginning of a long, painful journey towards healing and forgiveness. In that moment, I realized the true cost of revenge, the pain and destruction it leaves in its wake. I vowed to never let hatred and jealousy blind me again, to never let the darkness within me overshadow the love and light. I was determined to be a better person, a better sister, to earn back the love and trust I had lost. Each day after that painful confrontation was like wading through a sea of guilt and regret. The atmosphere at home was tense, a delicate balance between hope and despair. My parents, caught in the middle of our storm, were trying their best to mend the fractured pieces of our family, walking on a tightrope of pain and love. I've caused them so much pain, I thought, my heart heavy with remorse. I tried my best to give Emma the space she needed, while showing her that I was sincere in my efforts to make amends. I left her favorite snacks at her door, wrote her letters of apology, and did everything I could to make her life easier. It was a delicate dance, a balance between showing my love and respecting her need for distance. Every step counts, I would tell myself, each small gesture a beacon of hope in the darkness. As the days turned into weeks, I saw small signs of improvement, little glimmers of hope that kept me going. Emma started acknowledging my presence, a small note here, a fleeting glance there. My heart would soar with every tiny sign of progress, every step towards healing. Maybe, just maybe, we can get through this, I dared to hope. Despite the progress, the path to forgiveness was laden with thorns. Every step a painful reminder of the trust I had betrayed. Emma would have moments of withdrawal, days when the pain seemed too much to bear, and I would feel the weight of my actions crushing me. I deserve this, I would think, the pain a penance for my sins. Mike, despite being the unintentional catalyst for our fallout, was supportive, understanding the complexity of our relationship. He would check in on me, offer words of encouragement, and try to mediate between Emma and me. He's a good man, I thought, regretting more and more that I had lost him, but grateful that he was there for my sister. Then, one day, a breakthrough. I found Emma sitting in the living room, her eyes red and swollen, clutching one of my letters. My heart leaped, and I approached her cautiously, fear and hope warring within me. "Emma?" I asked softly, my voice trembling. She looked up, her eyes pools of pain and sorrow, and I braced myself for the storm. But instead of anger, I saw a glimmer of something else in her eyes, a flicker of longing, of love. "I've read your letters," she said, her voice breaking, "and I see how much you're trying, how much you regret what you did." A surge of hope filled my heart, and I sat next to her, my soul aching for connection, for forgiveness. "Emma, I am so sorry for everything," I said, my voice choked with tears. "I would give anything to take it all back, to make things right." Emma reached out, her hand shaking, and touched mine. It was a small gesture, but it felt like a lifeline, a beacon of light in the darkness. "I'm not ready to forgive you completely," she said softly, "but I'm willing to try, to work on rebuilding our relationship." Tears filled my eyes, and I clung to her hand, a lifeline in the storm. "Thank you, Emma," I whispered. "Thank you for giving me a chance, for letting me try to make amends." We sat there, hand in hand, a fragile truce in our battle of pain and love. Emma and I started going to therapy, individually and together, working on healing our wounds, on rebuilding trust. It was a painful process, a journey of self-discovery and growth, but it was necessary, a step towards reconciliation. We can do this, I would think, each session a step closer to forgiveness. As the weeks turned into months, I saw the transformation in our relationship, the gradual rebuilding of trust and love. Emma started opening up, letting me in, and I did everything in my power to show her that I had changed, that I was worthy of her trust. I will never hurt her again, I vowed, my resolve stronger than ever. We started creating new memories, building new bridges, learning to trust and love each other again. It was a slow process, a delicate dance of love and forgiveness, but we were committed, determined to overcome the shadows of the past. The months drifted by, like leaves in the wind, and the contours of our strained relationship began to smooth. The air between us was no longer electric with tension, but imbued with a tentative, fragile hope. The therapy sessions were like a balm, slowly healing the wounds and scrapes festering in our souls. Is it too much to hope? I often wondered, feeling the fragile threads of our bond strengthening day by day. Mike and Emma, meanwhile, were like two celestial bodies orbiting around each other. Their relationship, albeit fraught with its own set of complexities, seemed to be a beacon of stability amidst our turbulent lives. Perhaps it was meant to be, I pondered, watching them navigate through their shared existence with mutual respect and understanding. It was during one serene evening, the golden rays of the setting sun bathing the room in a warm glow, that Emma approached me, a tentative smile playing on her lips. I think, she hesitated, her voice barely above a whisper, "It's time for us to host another family dinner." Her words hung in the air, a fragile hope encased in a bubble. I could feel my heart racing, a flurry of emotions battling within me. Is this the moment of reconciliation we've been working towards? I thought, apprehension and hope warring within me. I nodded, unable to trust my voice, my eyes moist with unshed tears. Preparations for the dinner were like weaving a tapestry, threads of hope and fear interlacing. The air was thick with anticipation, every detail meticulously planned, each step a dance between hope and trepidation. Could this be a new beginning? I dared to believe, each gesture, each word carefully measured. The day of the dinner arrived, the air buzzing with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. I could feel the tension like a live wire pulsating through the air, and I was a bundle of nerves, my heart in my throat. Will we finally close this painful chapter? I wondered, my thoughts a tumultuous sea. As our family gathered around the table, the air was laced with a fragile, hopeful energy. Conversations were like delicate blooms, carefully nurtured, every word a step towards healing. I could see the cautious optimism in everyone's eyes, the flicker of hope dancing in their souls. This is it, I told myself, the moment of truth. And then it was time for the toast, a tradition in our family gatherings. My hand tremored as I lifted my glass, my voice shaky. To new beginnings, I declared, my eyes locked with Emma's, to love, forgiveness, and second chances. The room echoed with the clinking of glasses, the air filled with a silent prayer for healing. The moment was electric, the air charged with emotions, and I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes. Have we finally reached the shore? I pondered, my heart brimming with hope and love. It was then that Emma stood up, her glass raised, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "To my sister," she declared, her voice choked with emotion, "for showing me the true meaning of love and forgiveness." The room was silent, the air thick with emotions, and I could feel the tears spilling down my cheeks. Have we finally found our way back to each other? I marveled, my soul aflutter with hope. We locked eyes, and I saw the love, the forgiveness, the healing in her gaze. It was a moment of profound connection, a beacon of light in our journey of pain and redemption. With each passing day, I saw the transformation in our relationship, the gradual rebuilding of trust and love. We were creating new memories, forging new connections, and I was hopeful, for the first time in a long time, that we would overcome the shadows of the past, that we would find our way back to each other. As I watched Emma and Mike, their love a testament to the power of forgiveness and understanding, I felt a sense of peace, a realization that love is the true essence of existence, that it has the power to heal, to transform, to transcend. Love conquers all, I mused, a silent prayer of gratitude for the journey, for the lessons learned, for the love rediscovered.